Everyone. It's Katherine Skaggs with the Artist Shaman Healer Sage book, and I'm the artist of the Mythical Goddess Tarot, plus thousands of soul portraits and other divine beings of light. So I'm here today to share a little bit more about the Artist Shaman Healer Sage book and what its importance is. It's this amazing spiritual guidebook founded in shamanism and other universal practices, wisdom, and truths that you'll find all around the planet for thousands of years that we're bringing forth now into our day and time because we need help as a species. How are you navigating these energies? They are wild and woolly as they're dismantling all of the old ways of being that are not harmonious and born of love so that we can come back to the heart spaces. So one of the cool things about this book that I made sure to put in is I've got a section on shamanic principles. These are part of the foundations of what can help you understand how things work spiritually in this physical reality. That we do have an underpinnings of the spiritual and mystical world that help us to be successful, that help us to be happy, that help us to live harmoniously. And if we're out of balance, if we're having a hard time, we absolutely are missing the boat on a couple of things. And this book can help bring light to that. That comes through metaphysical principles I learned 40 some odd years ago. And then it's woven in through timeless wisdom of the ancient ones, the indigenous peoples around the planet, that even if they haven't met each other, they'll tell you the same thing. So one of the things that we all need to understand and know very basically, it's a very basic shamanic principle that you'll find whether it be Native Americans, people in Peru in the Southlands down by the jungles, or the ones in the Andes, or over to India and Hinduism or into Buddhism, is that these are principles about how to create your life by being empowered to understand the rules and the guidelines that Spirit gave us, that there are clues. So one of the very first ones that's foundational is that you are the dreamer of your life. You're the creator. You're the one that responds or reacts to the world around you. So you're creating from the sense of awareness or unconsciousness. That's about it. How do you desire to create your world? So I find that how you create is all dependent on your intentions, what kind of good energy or heart centeredness you have in creating your dreams. Are they bigger than just your linear reality? Which is a really important piece, I find. That you're in the most harmony for your dreams, your hopes, your wishes to come true in this world as you go into wonderment like a child about how good it can get. What really can happen if you align with your heart and your soul's desires and then participate in a co-creative effort with the greater spiritual creator that's at hand with us, that you're a spark of that creation. So it requires a sense of effort and responsibility to become effortless at times, to be aware. So that's number one principle that I talk about, that you, the soul, are the creator of your reality. So I like to say something about what happens when you come into this reality. You're born as a child and you feel like you have no control. Well, let's talk about your soul's perspective, that it's not just your conscious mind and how old you are, how capable you are intellectually. You have soul wisdom. And everything I understand and have experienced shows me that prior to coming into this particular lifetime, you as a soul sat with your council of 12, might have been more or less, but I'm familiar with the council of 12. Basically, your spirit guide, your helpers, your higher self, who says, I'm going to jump into that reality in 1957 or in 2012, and I'm going to come in as a male or a female. I'm going to choose my gender, my family, and all the workings of this life that are both your gifts and your challenges. So you might come in completely well, or you might come in with an impairment in your physical body. You might come into a family that is wonderfully harmonious, perfect setting for you to grow and complete unconditional love. Or you might come in as kind of the weirdo and the black sheep. I did that one, who didn't quite fit, and had to find her way into what was harmonious. Uh, you pick a place in the world that you can most learn from. All of these choices that you make before you incarnate into this world are all about what you want to learn in this lifetime, what you want to participate in, that you'll have a particular calling that you just can't not listen to. Or if you do, that you'll be in suffering and you won't feel like you're in the right place. All these are basically setting things in motion for you to experience a conscious dream, a lucid dream of the soul having a human experience for an expansion of your soul self and a waking up. In this particular lifetime, if you're here now, you chose to come during a very epic time on this planet for humanity. A time of great turmoil, a time of great change, a time of great opportunity to understand the workings of the soul and waking up and becoming more luminous, awake, Christ or Buddha like. And that this landscape of this world that seems very chaotic and extreme at times is actually the perfect landscape to temper you into higher consciousness, to become more awake and say, what is going on here? What do I need to do and how do I do it different? So the Artist Shaman Healer Sage book attends to that by helping you understand cycles and helping you understand as a soul how this game on earth works, how your soul walk works. When I began to understand universal laws and truths, it gave me a clue how to more consciously create my world with greater harmony. So, what else shall we talk about that's in this beautiful book? All right, one of the other beautiful things about this reality is everything is imbued with spirit. Everything is alive and full of energy. Now, in the natural world that we call non ordinary reality, everything made of spirit that shows up in plants and trees and everything of this natural reality on the earth, Pachamama or Mother Earth, as well as Father Sky or Papa Cielo, where we have the cosmos and the planets and all the energy is filled with prana or chi. And another word that I'd like to add to that is the Karo word from the people in the Andes. And their language says this is Sami, and that means life giving energy. So a lot of the practices in shamanism are resourcing to the earth, resourcing to everything of the natural world, being able to connect to the spirit, the animating force within all of that reality that restores us, that heals us. And then there's another energy that the Kiro people talk about, and that's a deadening energy. And that basically is energy called hucha. Don't you love that word? Hucha is the energy that basically pulls us out of sync. It's born of fear, man made thoughts, man made emotions, also man made things in the physical that are toxic and bring harm. So it's really important to understand how to clean yourself energetically and to bring in the Sami, the life giving energy, and how to let go of the Hucha. All the stuff where you get angry, you get emotionally upset and reactive, you get jealous or envy. Those are really difficult energies that can cause harm to yourself and harm to others and take you completely out of balance. So, this book addresses these energies as well as what you can do to ground yourself into the earth, fill yourself with life force, and clear out and reset your focus energetically from mind, body, emotions, and spirit so that you can be in a harmonious place, so you can be conscious about how you weave your dream. So, your thoughts, your emotions, your words all set things in motion, whether it's good energy or life giving energy, or whether it's something that creates conflict and lack of harmony. So it's really important that we discover and find our way here. And then we can shift things when they aren't in harmony. We can come back into greater balance. So shamanism is definitely a path that helps us to live a life more harmoniously, fully empowered to create and to come back to that which gives life and to be part of that picture and to attract our tribe who are all on the same page, doing our best to come into greater light. Okay. The other one that is not always easy that I heard before I got into the shamanic pathway is that all is well no matter the appearances of things. So, from a spiritual perspective, that's a lot easier to grasp when the world looks pretty haywire, that people are dying from COVID or shootings or all the crazy stuff going on this planet right now, where people are at odds with one another, and that we have a lot of fear in our reality. But from a spiritual perspective, as soul, you are infinite. We experience finite reality on earth in our humanness, and where things are born and where things grow and then things die. But on a soul level, on a spiritual level, all is constantly alive. All is filled with spirit, filled with life force, and it goes from cycle to cycle and incarnation to incarnation. And yet it never dies. Our spirit never dies. So, from that perspective, even if you've got some challenging things going on in your physical reality, all is well, no matter what it looks like. Now, this principle is not like, oh, great, when I die, I'm okay. It's more like, you know what? This cycle will pass. It's time to relax. Let's give you some practices to ground yourself and to come back into your centeredness, where you can become objective and observe what's going on and move out of judgment. Judgment is the place where we enter into suffering. So this path is one of cleaning our perception from our limited perception and limited reality, and going to a greater perspective of spirit and of a vast infinite being of light, where we can become more compassionate, where we can become more present, so that we step out of the things that make life so hard and difficult and move into a greater open-heartedness that allows us to transcend the challenges of being human, where there's a blending of our humanness, our compassion, our heart opportunities, our big hearts, and we can blend that with the greater perspective of spirit that allows us to evolve and grow into greater love. So those are some of the basics. I'm going to see, is there anything else from this chapter that I want to share with you at this time? Yes, one more thing. I would like to talk to you about that you are the blessing. So as a soul, you really are infinite love. And when you jump into this human perspective and you fall asleep, you come into a world of duality, of good and bad, black and white, male and female, yin and yang, of right and wrong. And truly on a soul perspective, you're everything. You're light, you're love, and you're awake and aware within this spiritual dimension. Yet when we come here, we often get imprinted by fear from our parents or the culture that says, you're not good enough, or, you should be this way, not that way. The church says you should be this way, not that way. Or someone who just doesn't like the color of your hair or the way you smile, and you get a bad feeling from them. They've judged you somehow. So beyond judgments, beyond right and wrong, there's a place where truly, as you begin to wake up spiritually, there's an awareness that you have love within you, that you start to connect with that you start to connect with love in all life, and that you have your own gifts that you bring here by being here. So you are the blessing is an absolutely huge statement beyond those 4 words that you would have any idea about until you start becoming more and more awake. That as you smile, you shift the energy of your reality, whether it be someone at the drive-through, or whether it simply be as you move through life, is that you're giving off a beautiful energy that blesses others. Your kindnesses, your creativity, your unique laughter, and your unique perspective. So I invite you to consider these things today and to embrace how you bless your world as you consciously show up and you do your best to love a little more greatly, to be curious about how good it can get, and to move into a place where you can look in the mirror and you can see the light within yourself, that you are allowed to then see the light within another. where you can consciously acknowledge that and you become the blessing in those people's lives as well as yourself. So my name is Katherine Skaggs. I'm the author and the artist of the Mythical Goddess Tarot. No, I'm not the author of that. I'm the artist and the author of Artist Shaman Healer Sage and the artist of the Mythical Goddess Tarot. I invite you to embrace these things with the Artist Shaman Healer Sage, and that this is here to bless you in remembering all of who you are and to truly honor yourself and the light within you.